Hello, welcome to Lemon Juice, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lamone, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw on April 15th, 2024. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way, shall we? I'm going to leave a like, comment below, let me know your thoughts on Monday Night Raw. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, a lot happened on this episode of Monday Night Raw, and given the circumstances that happened to it, they made a lot of intrigue around their main faction and, of course, their Women's World Championship, because we kick off with Rhea Ripley, and she comes out in a sling, and usually when a wrestler comes out in a sling, it means they're going to be out for a minute, and she has to vacate her title. And this caused a lot of discourse on the internet of like, well, why does she have to vacate, but Seth and Roman do not have to vacate? And I think that's a valid point. I will play devil's advocate to play both sides, because I really do see how, like, well, you know, you had two champions who literally went like 90 days without defending the title. Why can't Rhea? Because apparently she's only going to be out for 3 months. So I'm scratching my head a little bit too at this news. But to play devil's advocate, it was on the road to WrestleMania, and you know, Seth was able to get clear of muster through, and now he's on a month break. So that's for Seth. And as for Roman, they already said like a year ago that it's part of his contract that he doesn't have to show up that often. So there's that with it too. But again, if you are upset and you do think it's a double standard, I have a hard time disagreeing with you. I really do, because even I'm scratching my head to it too. But to make, I guess, light of it, is that the Liv and Rhea feud has increased so much that it is like SummerSlam or WrestleMania level caliber feud now, where to me those are only two options that feud can take place now, because there is so much heat behind it. Especially with like, well, who plays heel whenever Rhea does return? Is it Liv? Is it Rhea? Because both sides of the coin. Liv just got payback. It was karma, and it was a freak accident in real life, but, you know, storyline-wise, it's like, oh, yeah, it makes sense. An eye for an eye. As she said, an arm for an arm, or a shoulder for a shoulder. I don't remember what she said. Or was it a wrist for a wrist? Either way, it's part of the body. And she's like, well, where was my sympathy when she took me out for 8 months? I was like, yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair, Liv. So it'd be interesting to see how they play it once Rhea does come back. Really looking forward to that. Also with the power struggle of the Judgment Day. Because now that Mommy's gone, Damian kind of just assumes he's the leader, and some of the Judgment Day is just kind of making decisions for him. Like when they came out to jump Jay, Damian didn't really seem to like that, and so that's another very intriguing aspect of it too. Very curious to see how all of that culminates. I do find it weird that we are just going to crown a new Women's World Champion next week. I don't know why you just don't do that title match at Backlash, because I do feel like we need to feed that card a little bit, because the pay-per-view's in, what, 2 weeks now? It's on May 4th, and, you know, we only got 2 matches confirmed. Cody's WWE title match and Damian versus Jay. Those are the only 2. Everything else, hell, is on free TV. We had an Intercontinental Title match in the main event. We had a WWE Women's Championship match on SmackDown. We're crowning a new Women's World Champion on next week. And we have the new WWE World Tag Team Championship being defended next week as well. So, I don't know. I kind of like how they're showcasing all the titles consistently now that we are in a post-Roman Reign era. But it's just, let's use them a little sparingly, especially when you have another premium live event happening so soon. Speaking of the WWE Women, the Tag Team World Championships, I like the design. I just don't like the red in it, because I do feel like the title has to stay on Raw now. It does kind of feel like Miz and R-Truth or DIY will automatically be on Raw when the draft does happen, because like there's just so much red. I don't know how you move it over to SmackDown. I do think they're going to move some of the belts around. Like I do think the World Heavyweight title is going to SmackDown, and the WWE title is going to Raw, because I do think they're going to beef up Raw quite a bit with the whole Netflix deal coming. But those WWE Tag Team World titles, with how much red that is on them, not as much red as, you know, those nickels, but the nickel titles is it's still quite right enough where you're like, oh, well, it'd be weird to see that on SmackDown. And I'm assuming on Friday we get the presentation of the WWE Tag Team titles. Really curious to see how that design looks. It'll look close to Cody's, but still curious to see how that looks. They do kind of look like big gold, though. I mean, the World Heavyweight titles also look like big gold, too. But it would be pretty cool to see, like, not quite spinner, but like that same like kind of design for the tag team titles too, but that remains to be seen for now. The sun is starting to come down and the blinds are really in my eyes. So yeah, that was a cool segment. It did go a little long. I don't think we needed as much comedy as we did. I did like the whole R-Truth calling Triple H Tommaso Ciampa. That was pretty funny. And then when DIY came out, he goes, oh look, there's Triple H. Like that was pretty funny, but the segment did go on a little long for me. And then, you know, Cody came out, and I see a lot of people starting to complain already. Look, I get it. I do. Again, in a post-Roman Reigns era, no matter what, whoever was going to be the new WWE champion was going to struggle. They just were. Because when Roman came out with that title, it felt special and it felt like an event because one, he hardly showed up. And two, you know, he put so much work into that title, like it carried a life on its own. You're basically trying to rebuild like your own legacy when you become a champion. So it's going to take a minute, and especially that we're kind of stalling. Again, we're seeing who is going to be his challenger is this Friday. So he doesn't really have a full focus, so it is kind of the same shit. But like also with The Rock in the background, you know, we have that going on as well. It was cool seeing him and Jay talk like, look, if you need backup, I'll back you up because, you know, you helped me out, so I'm gonna help you out. And then Jay's like, nah, I'm gonna do it my own. I was like, well, that's kind of dumb of you, Jay, but okay. And then, you know, the dad joke of until we eat again, that was pretty funny. I did enjoy that. But it's only been 3 weeks. Again, I do feel like overall a lot of the storylines are stalled because of the draft coming up. I do feel like after we do get the draft, the Backlash card will become much more clear, and more of the overall directions of storylines will become much more clear too, as to we still have to place people in other directions. Oh my God, this looks bad, y'all. I'm sorry if y'all made it this far. Anyway, Cody comes out, Jay comes out, until we eat again, they eat. And then we had the Finn Balor and Jey Uso match. Really good. Again, the power struggle at the end because Damian didn't look like he wanted Judgment Day to attack, but they did. Damian's assuming leadership, but there is really no true leader. So again, a very intriguing thing to look forward to now that Mommy is gone. Again, we hate what happened, right? Unfortunate circumstances, but they have made an intriguing angle now that their real leader is actually gone. And then we have this great production segment where Jay goes out when he pushes the fan. That was so funny because the fan was trying to get a picture. He's like, boy, get out of here. This is my shot. And then he sees Sammy, and then they had their moment. They're looking up at the welcoming sign, I guess. And then Sammy has one of the best entrances in Monday Night Raw in a really long time. I can't say ever because I haven't seen every single episode of Monday Night Raw, but that is an entrance I'm going to remember for a very, very long time. And then we have the main event with Chad Gable. Now, I really didn't think Chad was going to win. I think we were all in the same boat that we kind of expected him to turn heel. It seemed like the right place, the right time, and with the right opponent too. And sure enough, that did what happened. But I gotta tell you, man, they had me biting a couple times. When he did the moonsault and then he landed, he got into the angle lock. That was very cool to see. Very few times they had me biting a little bit on that. Like, man, maybe they will give it to Gable. And this is how he turns heel. We cut the reign short, and you know, probably would have made sense. We had a really long reign with Gunther. Now we have a very short reign with Sammy, and Sammy can easily recover with that. And this is how he turns heel. Maybe he does with the surprise roll up, or he cheats a little bit. But no, Sammy wins, and then Gable just looking so defeated, he finally just snaps and he destroys Sami Zayn a little bit. And if you look up the video afterwards, they're saying F you Gable. I can only imagine they're going to air that on SmackDown or at the latest on the following Raw, because that's just too good not to show. I'm really excited to see what most people are calling Perk Gable a little bit, especially if the Creed brothers get involved, and that's like the new team angle, just go all out, do the whole team angle bit with the Creeds turning heel and Gable's with them, it will work tremendously. And I was like, man, if they do this right, I would not mind seeing Gable be the one to defeat Cody and take on the WWE title. Now the thing is, it does seem like you want to do the rematch at Backlash. At that point, who do you have win? Because again, Sammy's reign has just started. Do you really do a short reign? Again, I do think he could bounce back from it. And I'm part of the camp of, if you turn someone heel, they need to win. If the reason they're turning heel is to win a title, they need to win that title. Otherwise, they look fucking stupid and you killed all their momentum. So if they do the rematch at Backlash, I do think Gable needs to win. But that remains to be seen if they even do the rematch to begin with. Maybe Gable has to climb his way up and maybe he goes straight to the main event scene. Again, I see a lot of promise with this Gable heel turn. I'm really looking forward to see it. But yeah, those are the main talking points of Monday Night Raw. Again, I feel like it was a great show overall, especially with the unfortunate circumstances that they had. Very questionable on some of the decisions that they're doing for the future. Like, why are they doing crowning the world champion next week when they could do claim the vacant title at Backlash? And again, just knowing what rest is going to be on the card, because it can't all be title matches. It's not Night of Champions. But again, they have me intrigued. I'm ready to watch next week. Really looking forward to it. It's just a really good time to be a WWE fan overall. Again, hit that subscribe button if you have not already. I would greatly appreciate it. It does help me grow into my YouTube career. And also, it gives my dog a treat if you have made it this far. He didn't want to be in the video today. He is looking up at me right now because he heard treats. So I got to give him one anyway. But you can get him another one if you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.